that in this now famous 2.25-page document, there were about 35 names listed. This is pretty serious. Have we had anything as serious as this so far?
Well, yes, I think we've got something much more serious right now.
Well, I'm talking about up to prior to this hearing.
May I answer that question, Mr. Chairman?
Right.
I think we've got a much more serious situation now in communist infiltration of the CIA. Disturbed me beyond words.
Well, we haven't. The members of the committee have not been advised, and I do think that...
Oh, yes, they have.
Have we the names and of the people?
I've discussed this matter with the members of the committee. I also discussed with the members of the committee the question of communist infiltration of atomic and hydrogen bomb plants. I felt that was, I think, even more important than this infiltration at
just let me finish and do this one point. May I have from the files all the memos and meetings and minutes with reference to this matter so that we on the committee can be fully informed?
You certainly may, Senator. Certainly may.
Well, may I ask the distinguished chairman, have we yet received the names, and I assume they're in the file, of the claimed 133 communists that are ready for investigation? I've asked for it. Have I yet received it?
You would know better than I, Senator. The information is available to you.
But I'd like to know something in advance. I'd like to have at least a little advance information.
Senator McClellan, may I say that you know that I have been tied up here day and night with this investigation. I frankly don't have the time now, and that's one of the reasons why I object to this show continuing on the road. As soon as we get through with this, I'm sure the Senator Arkansas knows that I have been always completely frank with him. He can have every piece of information we have. It so happens, as you know, I've got a lot of respect for the Senator from Arkansas. I hope that.
Well, thank you.
I hope that don't hurt you in your campaign.
I think you know I never want anything but what's fair, and that's all I'm asking now.
You will have every piece of information, John, that
I'll be very glad to get what I've requested at your convenience. I hope it'll be soon.
Mr. Cole, what is the exact number of communists or subversives that are loose today in these defense plans?
The exact number that is loose, sir?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Roughly how many?
I can only tell you, sir, what we know about.
Well, that's 130, is that right?
And welcome to Steel City Resistance, ladies and gentlemen, here on our home base, WAAR. We are America Radio, your number one streaming source for political and government talk everywhere. The chat room is up on Spreaker. Go to steelcityresistance.blogspot.com. You can catch the appropriate links there. You can catch the show on iTunes, Stitcher, like the Facebook page. You can catch it on YouTube. The Facebook page is facebook.com/steelcityresistance. We want to thank Ward for staying on that. The call-in line is 412-567-1460, and the email address scrtv@live.com. Again, if you go to steelcityresistance.blogspot.com, you can catch the research room, the Cold War video classroom. I rearranged things in here, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm trying to get used to doing things backwards. I moved my mixer to the other side, so I'm trying to get used to doing it with my right hand instead of my left hand. But we have some enhancements coming in the future that required me to move things around. I had to add another computer to the studio, to the main console, to handle the phone calls. We'll be getting that next week sometime. I actually found out how many broken laptops I have, in my house. I tried 3 of them. None of them worked. They all had different problems for what I need, but we'll take care of that real soon. No worries. Another thing that I did over the weekend, I started utilizing my YouTube channel a little bit. The first time I ever did a live YouTube video, and I'm going to see I'll see by how many viewers will determine if I continue that. There were some. There was over 100 views. But if you subscribe to my channel, Hutch Bailey Jr., Bailey is spelled Bailie. If anybody's been having any problems locating me. Also on Twitter, my Twitter handle is Berg's Eye View, Burgh, like Pittsburgh. Berg's Eye View. The rest is spelled out in common spelling. I've had people tell me it's hard to find that as well. So that should straighten you out. So go over to the YouTube video or the YouTube channel. I'm not real. I haven't done a whole lot of it. All the programs are all archived on YouTube if you wanted to listen to them over there. Not all of them, but I mean I started, I don't know, a couple years ago. So there's a lot of them on there. People actually listen. If you're listening on YouTube, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. No doubt. Share it. But there's a lot going on lately this weekend. I mean, there's some things to be a little concerned about, and then there's some other things to be hopeful. I think we have never been in a time before where the media was so dishonest and so just stacked against us. You know, we elected Donald Trump president, and therefore, I mean, he's representing us. You go to a rally, and it becomes obviously clear that these are all like-minded people. I mean, I had some neighbors that came over to see me today. First time I ever talked to them. I've lived here for years. And I'd known they were, kind of across the corner from me. We have an island. I live in a 3-way intersection, and there's an island in the middle of it. And these people are like a diagonal shot, right, if you split it right through my front porch, right through the island to their house. So I see them all the time, and they maintain the island. You know, they plant flowers on it and dress it up for weekends, holidays and things like that. Do a really good job. 2 retired school teachers, 2 lifelong union members, and Democrats. Until recently, they had 3 Trump signs in their yard, 2. But anyway, if you're listening, how you doing? It was nice talking to you tonight or this afternoon. But what was my point? My point was so many people, some that never participated in politics before. Now, I think these people probably did. They seem to be actively engaged and civic-oriented and whatnot, so they probably did. But at some point in time, they saw the light, just like a lot of us former Democrats. It happened to me when I was 30, when my son was young. After my firstborn was born, I started to look at things a little bit differently. Rush Limbaugh helped with that endeavor. But I guess the overall point was there's so many people behind this movement that you can really see the chafe. You can really see the phoniness and things that are trying to take us off course. And like I said, we have to be careful. We have to ensure that we stay in campaign mode. This is not going to be an easy fight, and we've got one shot. I saw somebody come on Twitter today. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was. But the basic premise was, hey, we really need to find some centrists, some when Democrats and Republicans could, come together and horse trade and we need some centrists to get, no. We need to take the left out, ladies and gentlemen. There is no compromise. There is no going across the aisle. There's none of that. That is not possible. They would never come over onto our side of the aisle, so do not be fooled into thinking that we need to compromise. We don't need to compromise. We need to fix bayonets. That's what we need to do. We need to show no quarter, give no quarter, show no mercy. This cancer on our country is killing us, and we have to cut it out. Figuratively, of course. This is something that we cannot compromise on. We've got one shot at it. We've got the momentum right now. And if we have to bowl over the media, we'll bowl them over too. Well, there's plenty of people out here ready to take over. You know, they want to lie to you. I mean, it's so bad that when Angela Merkel, when her pathetic self visited the United States, the fake media tried to tell you President Trump did not shake her hand. And why they would do that when there's digital video available of him in fact shaking her hand, why would they do that? I mean, you know why? Because every time you turn on Fox News, every time you turn on whatever, they are gambling on you being stupid. Trust me when I say that. They think you're a rube, especially if you're an ordinary American in flyover country. They think you're absolutely stupid. And so do the politicians, Democrats and Republicans. So do they. I mean, when Paul Ryan comes out, and you know, I'm starting to come to terms with this. I don't like it, but I'm starting to come to terms with this bill's going to pass. And maybe it won't. But when they come out and tell you that it's a repeal, it's laughable. It's completely laughable. And when Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday today totally beclowned what's left of the Fox News corp's credibility, what does he ask Paul Ryan? He's got the Speaker of the House. President Trump just unveiled a magnanimous budget that is designed to cut the fat off the bureaucracy. And what does Fox News Corp, what's the most important thing that they could ask the House, the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan? How did he feel and could he support President Donald Trump's budget as it cuts Meals on Wheels? That's what we got from Fox News. You think Fox News is a good organization? Was that a good question to ask? I mean, I know in the 13th Amendment it says the federal government will fund Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels is a local effort, and a valiant one. The federal government has no business in it. The federal government already funds 49 million people on grub stubs. For them to run commercials saying that 1 in 6 children is hungry in America, when you have billions of dollars going in food stamps, and an oligarchy that's set up that every food stamp recipient can get as much Coca-Cola product as they want, as much Lay's potato chips, you know, as much Hershey bars and Mars bars, and all the big companies are in on it. No. Meals on Wheels is not a priority. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that it's not a good program, but it's not a big federal priority, and it probably doesn't even get $1 million. I mean, it's something that, come on, Chris, you're beclowning yourself. You're totally playing this game that says, American people, if you're watching me, you are stupid, because I'm going to take you down this rabbit hole, and you know that's how we're going to do it. And it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing for me as a grown man to sit there and watch this clown. He's got the guy that's number 3 in line to hold the nuclear football, and he asks him, how does he feel about Donald Trump cutting Meals on Wheels? It's sickening. Let's talk to Big Rich from New York City. What's going on, Rich?
Good evening, Hutch. You know, it's funny how they twist everything, the media, regarding Meals on Wheels. If you look into Meals on Wheels, the purpose of Meals on Wheels was to give seniors who cannot leave the house and are sick. That's the purpose of it. It's not to support families. It's not to support kids that are hungry. That has nothing to do with it.
Now,
That's
Rich,
yes,
Rich,
sir.
is it high when you have? I mean, all right. Now you're the host right now, and you've got the Speaker of the House on the other side of the table, and you've got millions of people listening or watching to you. Is Meals on Wheels really a question that you would ask this man?
Never.
Unbelievable.
There's a million one questions he could ask him. He could go right into the Obamacare. You know, why he's not repealing it, why he's, it's just a transformation, and then do you want to force it to the people? There's a million things he could ask them to put him in the spot.
Or how about what do you think about the cuts to the EPA? Or what do you think about the increases to the Defense Department?
He could have done a 6-hour show on all those topics. But no, what it go into? The negative stuff. The stuff that they're pulling out there to the people. Taking food. And it's funny, this has to do nothing with children. There's nothing to do. This is let me tell you something. They got a meals organization where I live at, okay? Beautiful, fancy trucks. You got to see the budget these people have. Okay?
I can imagine.
It's incredible. And you know how many people they got working there? Like 50 to serve like maybe 15 seniors.
I actually, and I still am, I actually thought about helping them. But this is something that the church should run. You know what I mean? Or the community group or something, not the federal government.
But let me tell you something. The church does run these stuff. You know how many free cheese they still give out? You know how much milk they give out? You just go up there with your ID, and boom, you get a whole full groceries out of these churches now.
Well, that's
it's
good.
the truth. I see the trucks coming every morning dropping goods like if it's a grocery store.
You know what, though, the only thing I get nervous about, because you got to admit, the American church is getting a little bit funny. And what I mean when I say that is it used to be they didn't take any kind of government money or anything like that. It was collections from the parish, the congregation, and from gifts from people in the congregation. But now, when you see these guys come out on the news and they're cheerleading all these leftist programs, you wonder, is the government feeding money into them? And I don't know.
Let me give you a sample. What they've done to the churches in New York City, they have auctioned them like cars. Okay? What this Pope done to the communities of Catholic churches, he has sold, I say, 3/4 of the churches, Catholic churches, are done in New York City. Okay? They were defunded.
It's like that here. I mean, it seems like, we had a huge Catholic population in Pittsburgh. Both of my children went to Catholic school. But it seems like every year another school's closing.
Exactly.
It's really bad.
It's the propaganda that's going on in New York City, because this is the most liberal, of the liberals.
Yes, it is.
Why do you think Hillary wants to run here? She's not a Sisi Pickens. It's like she didn't even have to work hard. Just Hillary Clinton, but maybe I was going to vote for her. And it's crazy. I'm think of leaving out of here. But I'm just sick of everything. And that's Meal for Wheels. It just kills me, man.
Get out of there, Rich.
It's a bunch of lies they're throwing to the people, man. It's a bunch of lies, man. Lies, man. That's for seniors that cannot leave the house and are really ill. And the majority of food they give to the senior, it's just a speck. I'm telling you. I have spoken to some of these drivers. I didn't even ask them how many deliveries you got to. Oh, well, they got like 6 today.
Don't they talk to them and everything? They go in there and talk to them a little bit, and sometimes...
No. This is what they do. They ring the bell. Here you go. Have a nice day.
Wow. Hey, Rich, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Okay,
man.
God bless you, my brother.
Yeah, you too. All right, that was Rich from New York City. Always love to hear from him. 412-567-1460 if you'd like to call the program in just a minute, because it's time for, ladies and gentlemen, your weekly Jihad report from March 11th to March 17th. 38 Jihad attacks, 286 killed, 391 injured, 11 suicide blasts, and all this happiness happened in 13 countries. The religion of peace atrocity of the week: twin suicide bombings bring down 74 Shiite pilgrims. Other recent misunderstandings of Islam: on the 17th in France, a father and son's throats are slit by a family member yelling Allahu Akbar. On the same day in Yemen, Shiite rebels fire 2 rockets into a Sunni mosque, killing 34 during Friday prayers. On the 15th in Iraq, religion of peace advocates set off a car bomb along a street packed with medical clinics. On the 15th in Syria, 31 innocents at a courthouse are reduced to bloody pulp by a Fedayeen suicide bomber. On the same day in Nigeria, 4 female suicide bombers kill 2 people in a residential area. And finally, on the 14th in Iraq, children are among 9 Iraqis burned alive for trying to flee the caliphate. The religion of peace, ladies and gentlemen, one body at a time. 412-567-1460 if you would like to call the program. Now, a very important development on the international stage: Egypt's President Sisi to visit Washington in the first week of April, according to a newspaper. This is from Breitbart Jerusalem. Out of Cairo from Reuters, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will make his first state visit to Washington during the first week of April at the invitation of United States President Donald Trump. Egyptian state-owned newspaper Al-Ahram reported on Sunday. You want to hear that again? Al-Ahram reported on Sunday. The trip will be Sisi's first U.S. state visit since being elected president in 2014, as former United States President Barack Hussein Obama had never extended an invitation. Sisi was elected a year after leading the military's ousting of the Muslim Brotherhood's President Mohammed Morsi after mass protests. Trump invited Sisi in January, but the date of the visit had not been announced. Now, I would like to go back there and analyze some of that text I just read to you. The military didn't lead that coup. The citizens of Egypt led that coup. I don't know if you were privileged enough to be paying attention during the Arab Spring, but if you were, you saw something that was historic in the history of Earth. 60 to 70 million people were in the street. The army submitted to the people. There wasn't an army in the world that was going to take that many people out. I'm sorry. With bare hands, they would have defeated the military. That's something a lot of people don't realize. Numbers like that, you can do whatever you want to do. That's just the way it is. But this is a good thing. I mean, this is something where you have a former staunch ally. One of the worst things that the Democrat crime family did in the last 8 years was turn on our secular allies in Egypt. I mean, there's a long list of them. Nasser wasn't that good. Nasser was trying to destroy Israel. I mean, there's no question about that. But after Nasser was assassinated, you had Anwar Sadat, who and you got to give Carter a little credit, although Carter's an anti-Semite. Anwar Sadat did hold the line with peace with Israel for a while. And then the Muslim Brotherhood killed him. And then we got his second in command, the general in command of the Egyptian Air Force, Hosni Mubarak, who was an ally for 30 years, 40 maybe, at least 30. I wonder whatever happened to him. But they deposed him, and the deceitful, disgusting, verminous Obama administration let them do that. They let the Muslim Brotherhood take that poor guy out. He had been our military ally for decades. And I'm not naive enough to think that Egypt is our big friend. But they were our military ally. I mean, if you go to Carlisle War College, you could see gold-plated sabers that the Egyptian officers presented to the American officers and things like that. I mean, this was a traditional alliance. And, I mean, we went to the Sinai every year, Operation Bright Star. It was funny because a unit I was affiliated with at the time, told me to plan to go to Bright Star. We're going there. And I'm watching the Arab Spring going on, and research for the program and whatnot. And I was like, no, we're not going to Bright Star, Colonel. Nope. I'm telling you, trust me, there's going to be no blank adapters in the Sinai. We're not going this year. And, of course, we didn't. Let's welcome Jason from Florida to the program. What's on your mind, Jason?
Yes, sir, Hutch. A little off topic, but did you see little Kim there has tested a rocket engine capable of getting their ICBMs over here to the U.S., and he said the first bullet that's fired, U.S. is going to get nuked.
Well, I'll tell you. Let's talk about Kim Jong-un for a second. I don't know if you noticed what General Mattis did, but General Mattis made a couple maneuvers here early on to counter just such an operation, and he moved the THAAD missile defense system into the region, and I have the privilege, although it was several years ago, I have the privilege to have served in the 2nd Infantry Division in Korea for about 16 months in the 80s, and I got to tell you, that is no joke over there. This is not serious. Something. Yeah, this is not Vietnam. Not to take anything away.
Those South and the North hate each other.
Yeah, and this is not to take away anything from any Vietnam veteran or anything of that nature. But I will say that in about 7 months, we lost almost 30,000 soldiers in Korea.
Oh yeah, it was a meat grinder.
This place is. You look at the topography of the peninsula, and there are only so many places where military equipment can traverse.
Yeah,
and they are
very hilly and mountains.
There's mountains on one side, a river on the other side, and rice paddies everywhere. So you have to wait until winter until you can do anything, until the rice paddies freeze over is the only time. But not to get too off topic, the other thing that they sent to Kimpo to the Air Force is B-52 bombers. And, I mean, that might sound like those are old, but guess what they carry?
Oh, no, those are huge dump trucks full of cruise missiles. So they don't have to go right over the target.
Full of nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you right now, there is, and I have no inside information, I'm not trying to, but I guarantee you there's a nuclear capability in the land of the morning calm.
Well, sooner or later, if we don't take him out, I think his own regime will end up taking him out the way it's looking. I mean, their economy is going down. So sooner or later, something's going to have to go.
These people are almost cannibals. I mean, it's to the point where what really needs to happen is, I don't know if you've been watching Rex Tillerson. He's my hero.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
I hope he needs to get a good relationship with Xi Jinping in China, because China's the one who's got to deal with them.
Well, apparently
either that or we have to be prepared to deal with China.
Right. Apparently Tillerson made a good impression on Xi recently here, so that bodes well.
It does, because that's really the key. I mean, if you look at what happened, really, what happened in the Korean War was what caused us to use failed tactics in Vietnam. If you look at two parallels, if you look at the 38th parallel in Korea, and you look at the 17th parallel in Vietnam, they were both the demilitarized zones, and we crossed the 38th parallel because we had a rogue general at the time. Everybody thinks he's a hero, General MacArthur. General MacArthur disobeyed orders and took our troops across the 38th parallel all the way to the Yalu River, to the border with China, which is what brought China across 350,000 strong, and decimated the 2nd Infantry Division, the 7th Division. I mean, put a military stain on us we haven't had.
Oh yeah, and then to fix his screw up, he wanted to drop in nukes, and of course that's what got him out.
That's exactly right. He wanted to nuke the northern shores of the Yalu River and all of the industrial areas, and you're absolutely right. But that's why we never went across the 17th parallel in Vietnam, because they had a common border with China to the north, and it caused us all kinds of problems. But hey, Jason, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I always like to talk to you. And please
Thank
call
you.
back again.
Bless you.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jason from Florida, 412-567-1460. Oh, look at that. I'll tell you what. I wasn't watching the clock, ladies and gentlemen. That's like not good. But it doesn't matter because it was a quality call. You're listening to Steel City Resistance on We Are America Radio. And ladies and gentlemen, We Are America Radio is getting ready to launch some things. So I want you to pay attention in the coming weeks. Here and at the Wayne Dupree program, we've got some really exciting things coming up. If you've got a show or you've got an idea for a show, start putting it together. We may have a spot for you. You're listening to Hutch Bailey Jr. on We Are America Radio, Steel City Resistance on a Sunday night. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. You're listening to Steel City Resistance on We Are America Radio.
How do we call a liberal? You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket. and let me have more control of my own destiny.
President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Silver Star Medal to Frederick L. Roll, Staff Sergeant, United States Army, for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action while serving with the 1st Battalion Airborne 509th Infantry Regiment during combat operations in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom on 4 April 2003 in Iraq. Staff Sergeant Roll displayed extraordinary heroism and gallantry when his team came under enemy fire in Iraq. Taking small arms and rocket-propelled grenade fire, Staff Sergeant Roll led his team back to their Bradley fighting vehicle during the battle for Baghdad International Airport. After accounting for his men, Staff Sergeant Roll observed fellow soldiers of Bravo Team 1st Squad who were pinned down in an exposed position under heavy enemy fire with no leadership. Staff Sergeant Roll jumped from his Bradley fighting vehicle, ran across open terrain under heavy fire to provide leadership for the exposed soldiers. Upon his arrival, Staff Sergeant Roll noted that one soldier had been shot through both legs. He organized Bravo Team and began suppressing fire, applied first aid to the soldier's legs, and called for an evacuation. Staff Sergeant Roll became aware that enemy fire was landing around the injured soldier and used his own body to shield the casualty from further injury. While providing cover, Staff Sergeant Roll was struck in the middle back of his interceptor ballistic vest by a 7.63 millimeter round. Staff Sergeant Roll continued to provide cover and direction to the Bravo Team soldiers until an evacuation vehicle arrived. The evacuation vehicle was unable to move closer to the team than 100 meters. Staff Sergeant Roll picked up the injured soldier and carried him to the vehicle under continued enemy fire. He then remained in an exposed position while the rest of Bravo Team reached the evacuation vehicle. Leaving the evacuation vehicle, Staff Sergeant Roll again encountered enemy fire as he moved to his Bradley fighting vehicle to rejoin members of his rifle team. Staff Sergeant Roll, job well done. God bless America.
Mr. McConnell, well, could that be me?
What do you think is the good news that might come tonight for people that want to have good news tonight?
I don't know what the good news would be.
Denver Post endorsing Cory Gardner, the Des Moines Register endorsing Ernst. There's something weird going on among even the educated crowd. I hate to do this, but we're going to do it. We're going to do the African-American vote, and I call them the cavalry because usually they're assumed to be the base. Mitch McConnell, nice guys finish first. Anyway, no more comment on that one. Can I sound a bit like a Marxist here? He's got too many sycophants around him telling him, all you have to keep doing is what you're doing. He wants the issue. I'm not sure he wants the damn bill. Damn it, you cannot run a government on common ground. This pissant game of using the United States Senate to avoid doing anything.
That tells you that Democrats win the argument even if they lose the race. Cory Gardner is always given that big open mouth smile. I love everything. Everything's so great.
It's a good Republican night, but it's not a wave. I think we're bordering on calling this a wave election.
The avalanche that we were told for months that was going to happen for Republicans has not happened. We clearly are not being drenched. We can put away the umbrella, maybe keep out a shower cap, but the flood is not going to happen. First thing is we should not be in denial. We lost tonight. There was a wave.
Has defeated Pat Quinn, the incumbent governor of Illinois. Unbelievable.
In every Chevrolet showroom across America, more and more people are looking at the car that's just out and just wonderful. The 1957 Chevrolet. Some are looking at Chevrolet's daring new front-end styling, the bold new grille, big, beautiful sloping hood. Some are looking at Chevy's handsome new rear end with high-fashion fenders and fresh new design. Everyone's enthused about the new color-fashioned interiors and the sleek command post instrument panel. And the biggest news of all, Chevrolet's fuel injection, the greatest engine advance.
Penso che io sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipinge con le mani e la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso tenido dal veretto rapido. E incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito.
Welcome back to Steel City Resistance, ladies and gentlemen. Donna, Brazile, CNN employee, former CNN employee, Donna Brazile admits to sharing debate questions with Clinton camp and blames Russia. Are you guys getting tired of this whole Russia narrative? I mean, it's actually kind of dangerous, man. They've actually, you know, the Democrat crime family is so enamored with this Russia thing, and you know that they're talking a lot of smack, you know, and I'm not afraid of Russia, but Russia's no joke. And when you have a group of politicians, of criminals, who is so easily swayed to throw national security to the winds for their political futures, it's pretty sickening, and it's dangerous. But anyway, and this is from Breitbart, by the way, Jerome Hudson. We like to make sure we give attribution to these organizations and these authors because they allow the show to happen. I could sit here and give you my opinion all day long, and it would probably be a good show. But that's not the point of the show. I want to bring out the work of some of these people that does not get publicized elsewhere. Former DNC chairwoman and disgraced CNN commentator Donna Bobo Brazile, that's me adding that, has admitted that she relayed confidential questions to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in advance of last year's primary debate. Writing in Time magazine, Brazile said she would forever regret the decision. Stop lying, Slim. You would forever regret getting caught. It's what you've been doing your whole life. When I was asked last July to step in temporarily as DNC chair, Brazile explained, I knew things were amiss. The DNC had been hacked, and thousands of staff emails and documents were plastered on various websites. Staff were harassed, morale suffered, and we lost weeks of planning. Donors were harassed, and fundraising fell off. Sucks to be a criminal, Donna. That's all I can tell you. Now, you can go check that out in its entirety, but I'm going to move on. From the American thinker and Valerie Greenfeld, this is something you need to go read. It's entitled Jihad Fantasy. Could this be my child? Now, we've had a situation where we've kind of, I don't know, with the electronics, you know, with the smartphones and 75 million ways to isolate yourself from society, it's happening with parents and children, too. Between the soccer practices and the hours at her accounting job and the potlucks with the neighbors, Christiane Boudreau spent every spare minute watching Islamic State videos, her nose pressed up against the computer screen. Through the screens and behind the balaclavas, she was looking for her son's eyes. If only Christiane had been aware of the signs, processes, and ideology of Islamic indoctrination before her son, Damien, disappeared. If only more parents were knowledgeable about predatory recruiters who seek to promote extremist jihadi values to curious and naive teens, then perhaps the parents of 3 girls ages 15, 16, and 17 from an upper-class neighborhood in Denver would have recognized the signs before the girls stole away from high school to join ISIS. Newlyweds from Mississippi who thought it would be cool to celebrate their honeymoon by serving ISIS would not be serving time instead. An American mother of 3 in Chicago who woke one morning to find a letter instead of her children might have stopped them before they left to join ISIS. Salafi jihadism is described by convicted terrorist Anjem Choudhury. Next time when your child is at school and the teacher says, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What is your ambition?" they should say, "To dominate the whole world by Islam." Like gangs and cults, radical Islamism justifies acts of violence by using subversive messaging and brainwashing techniques. Studies show that radicalization could happen to anyone, not just the mentally ill, petty criminals, or society dropouts, but average Americans. How can American parents tell if their child is under the influence of a cunning jihadi recruiter? The signs of jihadi indoctrination include suddenly quitting smoking, drinking, consuming pork, spending a lot of time in chat rooms, a sudden interest in learning about Islam or Arabic, a change in friendship, spending a large amount of time at a mosque or Islamic cultural center, judging others' behavior as not sanctioned by Allah, a change from Western clothing styles, and no longer listening to music or watching television. Parents should heed these red flags and speak frankly to their children about all types of influences and outside dangers. I strongly suggest, especially those of you out there that are parents of children that are in this influence range, to read this. Go to steelcityresistance.blogspot.com and go in the show notes links. This is SCR 313. It's something that, it's a tool that you can use, ladies and gentlemen, to protect your children. Not only that, really, one of the things that's weak right now, whoa, am I still, yeah. Okay, I ain't got no lights, that's a little weird, but I guess I'm still streaming. Yeah, it looks like I'm still streaming. All right, you guys are okay, no questions. Some lights went out in my in my internet connection here. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully you can still hear me. It looks like you can in the chat room. Talk about Islam to your kids. When they're learning about it in school, counter the teacher's BS, because they're going to teach you what they have to teach them by their union and other curriculum. So check that out. Now, the title thing of the show here is coming up next, a very important subject, especially if you live in Vermont. But first, 304, area code 304, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Hutch. My name is Terry. I'm calling from Virginia. I heard some news or watched some news today on Alex Jones, and it's also in the Drudge report, Sheriff Arpaio and that detective that was helping him have the NSA information on the wiretapping of Donald Trump from 2004 on.
Really, 2004?
They have a printout from when Arpaio was being sued, you remember? Well, there was a contractor with the NSA that came to Sheriff Joe and said, hey, he's a whistleblower. He said, I've got to get this out. He presented Sheriff Joe a document that has over 1 million names of people with private phone numbers, their addresses, and one of those names on there was Alex Jones, and it was Trump's family, his father, all these people. I mean, this is big. And Sheriff Joe and this detective, what was his name? I can't remember. They were doing the research on the birth certificate,
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember his name either, though.
Oh, okay. Zulu or something like that. They have given this information to President Trump, and they've also talked to some of the top people in Congress and said, we're ready to come to Washington this week and give you all of this.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope it turns out, because the thing really is, if you look past all of the smoke screens that are being put up by Charles Krauthammer and people that we tend to respect, but when Krauthammer comes up 2 days in a row and says there's absolutely no way, any way, shape, or form that there was anything done, and if you think there is, you're stupid. When you hear that should send up red flags. When it's across the spectrum of the entire media and the entire ruling class. But you have to admit, if you get past all that and you look at what came out, President Trump hung up the phone with Mexico, and everything he said is in the newspaper 5 minutes later. That's a leak.
Yeah. And then there was the question, well, why were they wiretapping him back in 2004? Well, he was against the war. So that was talked about too. But and then they also had on this list names of Supreme Court justices and different ones. But anyway, that's one thing. And then there's another question I have right now. Why is Obama in Tahiti for a month? Why is he in Tahiti? And I'm thinking, I've been to Tahiti. They don't have any golf courses there. It's a small island that has a mountain that's 12,000 feet high.
There's probably good weed there, though.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, the South Pacific, and he left Hawaii and he was going to Tahiti for a month.
Well, what about him going to Hawaii? What about that?
Yeah,
he goes to Hawaii for one day,
and he stopped in California at the high leaders of the tech companies, the top.
But he goes there and talks to his former classmate.
His judge friend, and then he goes to Tahiti for a month. And I go, what's this? So anyway, okay, I'll let you go. But we'll see what's going to happen this week.
All right, thanks for calling, Terry. I appreciate it.
Okay, honey, bye.
All right, bye. That was Terry from Virginia, ladies and gentlemen. 412-567-1460. Let's get into the FBI investigated an Islamist, and he has taken over the Vermont Democrats. From a Norquist Islamist, as a matter of fact. You've heard me speak about Grover Norquist and Suhail Khan in the past. This is from Daniel Greenfield, which means this is from Front Page Magazine. Vermont Democrats have something else to celebrate beside the creation and failure of the first statewide socialized medicine system in America. Recovering from that glorious triumph, Vermont Democrats have elected their first Muslim state party chairman. The lucky fellow is Faisal Gill, who called his victory a rebuke of President Trump. To have a Muslim and immigrant to be the state party chair sends a really strong message to Trump and his type of politics that this is not where the country is at. Really? Gill's election doesn't send much of a message about where America is at, but it certainly sends a message about where the Democrats are at. Back when Gill was playing a Republican, courtesy of Grover Norquist, left-wing media outlets like Salon were willing to report on his troubling Islamist ties, but Faisal Gill has been reborn as a supporter of Bernie Sanders and Keith Ellison. The left has become a warm and moist safe space for Islamists. The Salon article, which Gill blamed for many of his problems, would be nearly inconceivable today. Could anyone really imagine a leftist publication today describing the Muslim Brotherhood as a terror nexus? But did Faisal Gill really go from Norquist Republican to Sanders Democrat? Did he shift from believing in free enterprise to embracing socialism, or did Gill always hold to an overriding ideology in whose shadow the distinction between capitalism and socialism becomes pointless, infidel quibbling? When revelations first emerged that Faisal Gill had been under FBI surveillance, he blamed Islamophobia. When Snowden's enemy espionage operation exposed national security documents which were published by left-wing terror apologist Glenn Greenwald and The Intercept, a site whose former writer is now charged with some of the terroristic bomb threats aimed at Jewish centers, Gill's email appeared on a list of alleged terrorist suspects and supporters, including al-Qaeda leader Anwar al-Awlaki. Glenn Greenwald had claimed that the al-Qaeda leader's only crimes were speaking effectively to the Muslim world about violence that the U.S. commits in Yemen and the responsibility of Muslims to stand up to this violence. Examples of this could include Anwar al-Awlaki quotes such as "Jihad against America is binding upon myself, just as it is binding on every other able Muslim. Don't consult with anybody in killing the Americans. Fighting the devil doesn't require consultation, and we will implement the rule of Allah on earth by the tip of the sword." And you can go check that out in the show notes links. It is several more pages long. But this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrat Party, we need to go for the jugular. There will be no censure. This is what really pisses me off about this health care bill. Why they didn't have the stones to just turn it on its ear. Let Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi bloviate till the cows come home. Who cares? If you have to push the nuclear button, push it. We have to destroy these people. Figuratively, of course. I mean, there can be no quarter. I mean it. This is, they're tooling up, man. They're loading the Democrat Party up with these Muslims. Look at some of the things Keith Ellison has said. He's the number 2 guy in the DNC, and he should be the number 1. And just like Bernie Sanders should have been the number 1 in the Democrat Party, a communist should have been number 1, but they cheated him because they knew they would get destroyed if that happened. When Nancy met Harry, the progressive Democrat Nancy Pelosi showered Stalinists with praise. This is from the American Thinker, ladies and gentlemen, from Lloyd Billingsley. Is it really from the American Thinker? He writes for Front Page Magazine. No, it's not from the American Thinker. It's from Front Page Magazine. I apologize. I'm glad I caught that. This is your unions, ladies and gentlemen. This is your unions. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has been the loudest voice against the administration of Donald Trump. The deflector-in-chief, as she calls the president, has done nothing. And in a March 5th CNN interview, Pelosi doubled down on the Democrats' default conspiracy theory. "What do the Russians have on Donald Trump?" she said. "That's the truth we want to know." As Pelosi mounts this surge, the old-line establishment media have shown little, if any, interest in Pelosi's own background, particularly as it relates to Russia, the USSR, and the American labor movement. Harry Bridges was arguably the most significant labor leader of the 20th century, Pelosi wrote in the Congressional Record in 2001, on the 100th anniversary of Bridges' birth. Bridges was beloved by the workers of this nation and recognized as one of the most important labor leaders in the world. And his International Longshoremen's and Warehousemen's Union was the most progressive union of the time. You can see them operating up in Washington State all the time. They're great. At the time, Pelosi's tribute drew little, if any, news coverage, but in 2007, when she was calling for unconditional withdrawal from Iraq, it came to the attention of Joshua Murevchik. When the American Enterprise Institute, he had been a speaker at the Second Thoughts Conference David Horowitz and Peter Collier staged in 1987. As a former chairman of the Young People's Socialist League, Murevchik knew his onions on Harry Bridges. Pelosi's favorite Stalinist ran the headline on his June 25, 2007 piece in the Weekly Standard. True to form, Harry Bridges was an Australian immigrant and devoted communist. Both the Roosevelt and Truman administrations tried to deport because he had lied about his communist affiliation in his immigration papers. So loyal was Bridges to Moscow that during the period of the Stalin-Hitler Pact, he opposed the 1940 re-election of labor hero FDR because Roosevelt was aligning the United States with Britain against Germany, and the ILWU printed anti-war pamphlets proclaiming the Yanks are not coming. As soon as Hitler's forces invaded the Soviet Union, Bridges did a 180-degree about-face on the war. Bridges and his union took transparently pro-communist stances while denying communist affiliation. Only after the fall of the USSR and the opening of Soviet archives, Muravchik wrote, did the truth emerge that Bridges had been not merely in the party, but a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party USA, a position for which the documents show he was directly approved by the Kremlin. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is who the minority leader, former Speaker of the House, this is who she aligns herself with. I mean, this is something that, it's not a small thing. It's something that the entire party is a crime family. You cannot be a thinking human being, except for maybe Hank Johnson. Maybe Maxine Waters, too. Jerry Nadler comes to mind. But you have to know what you're dealing with when you're with these people. They're communists. They weren't always communists, but they're communists right now. The communists have taken over the Democrat Party. And if we don't stay in combat mode, they're going to take over the entire government along with the Muslim Brotherhood. It's time. We have one opportunity, and it's right now. I don't know when we'll ever get the opportunity back. But we have to ensure 8 years of Donald Trump, and I'm going to say something that's going to generate hate mail. Pence got to go in the second term. Somebody more populist needs to be the vice president in the second term of Donald Trump. Pence can't handle this. Pence can't handle it. I'm sorry. I love the guy. He can't handle it. We need a warrior to be able to pick up this mantle. You look what George H.W. Bush did to Reagan's legacy. He gave it away in about 2 years. We got to get this right. It's going to take warriors. It's not going to work with Pence. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I know that doesn't sound good, but they don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
Coming, it's right around the bend, and I ain't said one true thing since I don't know when. Well, I'm off to federal prison, I guess it's no surprise. Never thought they'd find me guilty for telling all those lies. I lied about Benghazi, all the secret emails too. I never thought they'd catch me, and now I'm really screwed. Yes, I'm off to federal prison, not where I want to be. Maybe President Obama will quickly pardon me. My cell in prison will have lots of rusty bars. Bill will still be doing interns and do weird things with cigars. Guess I knew that this was coming. Perhaps it's meant to be. But those stupid liberal voters will beg to set me free. Get out of this prison and my time is finally done, I think I just might make another presidential run. Well, you know you can't avoid me, I guess I'm here to stay. And I'll keep right on lying, 'cause that's the Clinton way.
Your team lose. Now hold on a second. And by the way,
interrupt this program for Obama to say something.
My fellow Americans, I'd like to announce that I'm running for President of America as a black man this time. I did some time in jail. I did some crime with Michelle. We stole some fried watermelon. Yip, Kanye. I'm known to smack up a bitch. I got Kool-Aid in the fridge. I never met my kids. Their real dad is Kanye. Guns, yeah, sold them. Old tricks, yeah, told them. Blood splits, yeah, rolled them. Riding nuts, a homegrown baby. Hey, I just met you, so please don't tase me. My name's Obama. Was born in Haiti. I still get food stamps. I'm just lazy. I'm still on welfare. So fuck you, baby. They might arrest you, but you could blame me. They'll roll me over, incarcerate me. If I get unemployed, shit don't face me. My name's Obama. I'll roll with Jay-Z. Jeezer? Are you young Jeezer? How'd you get in the White House? I smoke a lot of Newports. I sit a lot on the porch. I stole 2012 Porsche from my neighbor's driveway. I did a lot of drug deals. I killed Osama for trills. I blamed it on Navy SEALs and fucked his bitch sideways. Bro, yeah, I'm holding rocks, weed, meth, heroin, White House garden showing. What you think I'm growing? Daisies? Hey, I just met you, so it's okay, see. My name's Obama. I'm half Kuwaiti. It's hard to look white. Robbing Macy's. Give me the food booth. Don't try to blame me. Hey, I just met you, so please don't mace me. My name's Obama. I dance like Swayze. If you live in Detroit, you gotta thank me. My name's Obama. I'm Pakistani. Before I came in the White House, I used to smoke crack. I used to soul crack. I used to roll so black. I was born in Dubai. I'd like to go back. Where's all my hoes at? Take off your clothes and don't talk back. Now, the American people have a clear choice. Would you like to get smacked with a pimp cane or with the back of my hand? It's hard to look white. I'm smacking ladies. it's no wonder y'all crackers hate me. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. I steal your Hummer and throwed your baby. Sandusky touched the boy, or so they say. See, my name's Obama. Chicken is tasty. Before I came in the White House, I used to smoke crack. I used to soak crack. I used to roll so black. All you haters don't like me, lick my ball sack. Y'all haters fall back. So fuck you, pay me. I mean, do we really need another black guy on unemployment right now? I'm sorry, I get that from my mother. She's a typical white...
Americans want our next president to be a woman. Hey babe, here's looking at you, Senator Elizabeth Warren. The planet is warming and the power is shifting. We need a leader who won't stand for all the Wall Street bullshit the lobbyists grifting. Run, 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 Liz, run. You gotta run for the office and get the job done. Run, 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 Liz, run. We need a president. We need President Warren. A president. We need President Warren. You shoot straight and tell the truth that we've been chipped, squeezed, and hammered. People think that the system is rigged because it is, and it's time that we stand up. The contract we've known has been cheated and broken. We need a leader who won't stand for all the corporate bullies, political ponies. Run, 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 Liz, run. You gotta run for the office and get the job done. Run, 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 Liz, run. We need a president. We need President Warren. A president. We need President Warren. So you're rich, that's fantastic, and God bless. But there's just a couple of things Liz Warren won't let you forget. Nobody got rich on their own, not nobody. Everybody needs bridges and streets to succeed. Oh, run, 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 Liz, run. You gotta run for the office and get the job done. Run, 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 Liz, run. We need a president. We need President Warren. A president. We need President Warren. A president. We need President Warren.
Pocahontas, ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Warren. What a lovely, lovely specimen. Teaches one course at Harvard and makes $300,000 to $400,000, and she thinks everybody else is just so rich and evil. Let's welcome Jack Hat Mountain to the program. Good evening, sir. You had an interesting subject you wanted to talk about. Bring it.
Yeah. We're talking about all the stuff foreign and stuff. I want to talk a little about something that's domestic, and from my view of it, it's MSM driven, mainstream media driven. Tomorrow, we have the confirmation hearings for the next Supreme Court justice starting for Gorsuch. The media is pushing hell over high water that FBI Director Comey is going in front of a subcommittee. And to me, I'm thinking Gorsuch should be a no-brainer. Boom, 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 boom. He should be passed, confirmed, and go right in to the Supreme Court to replace Scalia. And I'm looking online.
You know that hearing is going to take a long time. It's not going to be done.
I'm looking online, and it's looking like 4 days of hearings. Right, that's the whole week.
Well, he may be a Supreme Court justice by May. Let's say that. I mean, it's not going to happen. You know how these things go. I mean, it's been a while.
Is that ridiculous or what? But to me, it's a collusion there because the mainstream media is going to push that down, right, and going to pump up whatever FBI Director Comey says in this subcommittee thing. And I think that has to do with Russia.
Oh, of course. And you know, the thing is that you cannot deny Gorsuch this seat. I mean, the Bar Association gave him the top rating. There's no way this guy's going to lose. And the thing is, what a lot of people, there's a couple things going on right now, that the first wave is not the important thing. This isn't the important seat. This is a done deal. Gorsuch is getting in. There's no question. They'll use a nuclear option if they have. He's getting in. The second seat is the important one. The second seat is what destroys the liberal ideology for the next 50 years. The second seat is the one that they're going to fight for.
But well, if you look at it, this is basically putting it back into balance the way it was before Justice Scalia.
Right. This
was
is
either the water worked,
This gives you the 5-4, but you've got the waffly. Now you even have the waffly Chief Justice.
Yeah.
But this the thing is, and what you're saying is right. They're gonna bring Comey on so it doesn't look like such a slam dunk for Gorsuch.
No, what they're doing is deflecting the importance of the Supreme Court justice being nominated. That way they can sit there and delay it, just like they did all of President Trump's cabinet. I don't know if all of them are in yet. I mean, but we're talking spring is tomorrow.
Well, the thing is that it's not so much the cabinet, but there's 4,000 other positions that are underneath the cabinet officials that haven't been filled.
Yeah, you have to get your cabinet leader right in there to where you can implement your vision of the executive branch of the government.
Right, but just as in any corporation or any big company or any government agency, you have the top dog, but he's not running anything. The deputies are the ones that run everything, and those are the ones that need to be seated.
Right,
the ones that actually hire and fire and do what's necessary. And the thing about this media, man, it's nauseating. What you're saying is exactly right. I mean, they're going to play this. When I, if you were listening earlier, which I know you're a loyal listener, I know you were.
I'm here.
When I saw Chris Wallace ask the Speaker of the House about Meals on Wheels, Fox News is off my radar now. I mean, everybody, my neighbors, I talk to everybody. Fox News. Don't be fooled, folks. Fox News is a corporate mouthpiece like any other corporate mouthpiece.
Well, who owns
They
them?
are run by 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, who owns them?
21st Century Fox movie makers that put out homosexual movies. That's who owns Fox.
It's a globalist company.
Absolutely.
So, once Trump, as a nominee or as a candidate last fall, rose up and became the juggernaut that it was like nobody could stop him. All of a sudden, Fox News changed.
Were you able to watch Krauthammer? I didn't see him tonight, but the 2 nights before tonight. He said almost the exact same thing both times. He said, there is no human being, and I'm paraphrasing, there is no human being alive, no thinking person in the country that thinks that any surveillance occurred in Trump Tower. And if you think that, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
2 nights in a row he said that.
Right.
This is the last level. Krauthammer is the last level of support to make so-called conservative commentators change minds in the conservative flyover country.
It's gone, right? It's gone from the liberal media, where Fox was supposed to be the not considered right. I mean, I didn't consider them far right, but they were
fair
right of the left, right? NBC, MSNBC, CNN. I mean, you have so much leftist media out there, and Fox was
at the very best establishment. at the very best.
And they showed themselves to be establishment as well, which
Absolutely.
ties it into what we all have been thinking. That's why Congress has such a low approval rating. It is not Republicans and Democrats. It is the same thing, just sending out opposite messages to appease people to make them think like they're doing something.
Now, you think of, I'm going to mention a couple names. Stephen Hayes.
Right.
Bill Kristol's gone already, but and so is the baseball guy. But Stephen Hayes and Karl Rove got absolutely nothing correct for the last 3 years. Nothing. Not one thing that either one of those people said was correct. And they're still on the payroll, Jack.
All right. They're just like they moved weather prediction. The weather man on your local news channel used to be the one where, how can this guy get paid money to tell me what's not going to happen tomorrow with as far as the weather? Pundits on all these cable channels, TV channels, they tell you, oh, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. There's no way Trump's going to do this. There's no way that,
Jonah Goldberg. I mean, these people.
Yeah,
they
and then they end up
jobs.
wrong, but they still have the stones to get on TV now, like they didn't make any mistakes.
Somebody's paying them. They're paying them. They've got
course they-
everything wrong. Washington, D.C. is the only place this occurs.
And if you come up there with your own opinion that breaks from the left-right paradigm, you're subject to being, at least on CNN, at least they're honest with it. They just cut it out. Oh, blue screen. Oh, we lost the feed.
Hey, Fox News, Judge Napolitano, they're running for the hills, man.
Yeah,
they left him out there on the battlefield.
Oh, he had a great show. On the Business Network, he had a great show and built
But
up.
just recently, he's the one that linked the British spy with the CIA, and they left him out there, man. No.
Right.
We had to walk that back. And that's,
now the government's apologizing to GCHQ. I mean, get a grip, folks. Pay attention. If you know the GCHQ and you listen about the CIA in our country, they are hand in glove. Listen to the five groups. It's intelligence agencies of Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, United States, and there's one other country,
Germany.
That's the Five Eyes. That's the Five Eyes. And whatever nation comes up with we're breaching our own laws, well, then we'll just hand you the information to another country and let them do the surveillance that we were trying to do. That's the Five Eyes.
Yep, you're right.
Don't be fooled, folks.
Hey, Jack, thanks for calling, man. I always appreciate it.
Good job again, Hutch. Good job.
Thank you, sir. That was Jack at Mountain out there kicking it. Let's do a little bit of this.
2, 3, 4.
This is the Fordham section of the Bronx. My home. A world unto itself. You could get to any bar in 15 minutes from here, but they might as well be 3,000 miles away. That's Mount Carmel Church, and the sound of the bells would fill the neighborhood.
On the streets of the Bronx.
If language offends you, turn it down right around now.
It was 1960, and doo-wop was the sound on the streets.
Standing on the corner.
It felt like there was a doo-wop group on every corner back then. What a time it was.
I'll be waiting.
The New York Yankees were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates in the World Series, and Mickey Mantle was like a god to me. My dad would take me to Yankee Stadium, and we would watch the Yankees win. That's the Shea Bippy. That's where all the guys hung out. But I'll tell you about them later. That's my building. I live right there on the 3rd floor, 667 East 187th Street. There's my stoop. And on warm summer nights, all through the neighborhood, you would hear the sounds of young Italian men romancing their women.
Hey, Marie! Get in the fucking car!
No!
Get in the car!
Leave me alone.
Come on, baby. You know I love you.
Yeah, bullshit.
Will you get in the fucking car?
And right there under that lamppost there stood the man, the #1 man in the neighborhood, Sonny. Everybody loved Sonny and they treated him like a god. And in my neighborhood, he was a god. And I would sit on my stoop and watch him all day and all night. But he would never even look at me. Never. Until one day.
E cantare, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, e che dici di stare lassù? E volavo, venice punalte del sole con coro più su, mentre molto pian piano sparivo lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonare soltanto per me.
Yeah, I'm down in Pittsburgh, at the Golden Triangle, right next to the fountain, at the rivers, count 'em. But now that we got you, if you can drive round here, you can make it anywhere. There's construction everywhere, might see me on the south side, grubbing some Romanties, cranking B94 in my riders in the plan seat. We won't mention baseball, but PNC Park's great, city of the champions, Steelers and the Pins play. Try to get a ticket and you get on the waiting list, only in the Burgh, it's a party you don't wanna miss. The skyline from the incline, blinging like a supermodel, we call it our home, the land of the big ketchup bottle. It is what it is, the 412, it's a hometown, and everybody living here is happy it's their own town. Just look at the lights on the postcard that I mailed you, as the Ohio meets Allegheny and Monongahela. But let me ask you here, did your city win the Super Bowl and Stanley Cup last year? Well, in Pittsburgh, the sports are entertaining, because they always win, so you never hear complaining. Out on the riverbanks, you might catch me coasting. Iron City tailgate party food is always roasting. The city has that crazy cool, kinda special, got your back. Station Square at Hard Rock, right out by the train tracks. All kinds of old school, made lots of history. Don't believe that? Google Pittsburgh on your PC. It's not too big, not too small, it's just the right size. Get schooled that pit, then you're putting down some old fries. Out the tunnel, this will hit you with the bling bling. As soon as you arrive, you can see around the whole thing. We've always been here, and we always will be. And you've been told, talking shop on Pittsburgh, this could never get old.
Come on, Misha.
What?
Do you believe in government assistance?
What?
Well, I've got something to say about it. And it goes something like this, Blair. Misha takes his girl out for free. Don't need no cash to eat. He pays with EBT order. Oh, yeah. People get so jealous and mad. Americans make fuss cause their taxes go to us. It's bad. So bad. We got a Lexus in parking lot. It does not make a difference if it's legal or hot. Most people have jobs, but we do not all day. We drink and smoke pot. 420. Oh, it's so unfair. Oh, living on welfare. We don't pay tax, and we really don't care. Oh, living on welfare. Sasha's girl is eating all day. She loves government cheese. Tell me, what does that bitch weigh? Oi, блядь. In USA we'll never be poor. When we run out of ham, we call up Uncle Sam for more. More ham. Please, please. Пожалуйста. We made a green card in Photoshop. It does not make a difference if they're bloody or cropped. So hard to spend all the money we got. Oi, bleh. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on welfare, expensive suntans and grooming chest hair. Oh, living on welfare, living on welfare. Oh! Solo player.
This guy's not so bad. I'm glad we picked him.
He's not Thor. Busted. Oh, if we're pulled over, if we get stopped, we'll use your tax dollars to pay off the cops. Oh, it's so unfair. Oh, living on welfare, support our lifestyle, we're grateful, I swear. Oh, living on welfare. Oh, it's so unfair.
Living on the welfare. I'm going to pick up my welfare check. BRB.
Root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout, let's go! Take me out to where the pirates play, catch the sights, cheer the place, feel the glory of yesterday. Center field, grand slam, fence and cracker jack, crowd cheers, I don't care if I ever get back. Listen to the game with my radio on, rap along to the rhythm of a buckle song. To a board full count with nobody out, stop your feet, line drive, everybody shout. Root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout, let's go! Every slide of the Pittsburgh pride at the old ball game. Everybody shout, let's go! Cross the bridge, through the gates, to the field of green. Young and old stories told from your childhood dreams. Pops, Wagner, Trainer, Mazin, heroes yet to be made. Great catch, clutch hits like repentant blade. Listen to the game with my radio on, rap along to the rhythm of a buckle song. To a board full count with nobody out, stop your feet, line drive, everybody shout. Root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout, let's go! Every slide there'll be Pittsburgh pride at the old ball game. Everybody shout, let's go! Root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout, let's go! Every slide there'll be Pittsburgh pride at the old ball game. Everybody shout, let's go! everybody shout. Everybody shout. Root, root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout. Let's go, Bucks! Every slide there'll be Pittsburgh pride at the old ball game. Everybody shout. Root, root for our home team, a new pirate generation. Everybody shout. Let's go, Bucks! Every slide there'll be Pittsburgh pride at the old ball game. Everybody shout. Let's go, Bucks!
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps from the sparkling sands of your diamond desert, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling. A voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York
Robbed the joint. Like these two f***ing balloon heads over here. They were gonna try to bang us out of 200 f***ing grand? Yeah, right, I'm sure.
Hey, how are you? What are you doing here?
I'm over here now.
You're over here? You're over here?
Yeah, I'm over here with him.
Whoa. We're waiting on Carmine. Yeah, we're looking for Carmine.
He was here before. I saw him. He had a suitcase and everything, and then he left.
Carmine left?
Huh?
Carmine left? He's gone? He's not here. Carmine's out.
I think, maybe he went across the street or somewhere else. I don't know.
Well, listen, let's look at the joint, huh?
Oh, thanks, Ed.
Yeah, let's look.
Hey, go ahead, Jerry. Good luck to you, too.
Hey, they forgot to sign their papers.
What?
They forgot to sign their papers.
Yeah, they don't need those anymore.
Out of respect, guys from other crews got away with a warning. Everybody else, watch out.
Yeah! What's up, y'all? This your boy G-Mike. You see, I usually do songs with, like, hooks and concepts and shit, right? But fuck that, man. I'm trying to go platinum. So I'm about to rock this shit. Check this out, y'all. Read a book, read a book, read 'em all.
fine for Americans crossing the Canadian border. What's nicer than the Canadian border? I mean, if you've got to cross a border, if you have your choice between North Korea, Afghanistan, or Iran, I take Canada every single time. Do we agree? Right?
Special announcement coming up right after this.
He's gonna fix it, and everything else, Trump will fix it. I'm in Trump line. Donald Trump's gonna make countries bow before our eyes. I'm in Trump line. VIP dips and don't be Trump's surprise. Everybody asking how does this kid rapper spitting bars? He's a singer of pop. When the truth is, I've been raised by Wu-Tang since age 16. Papa Wu, top leader, just say listen, hold tight, don't fight. And when you find the one you love, you can never hold too tight. That's right, and treat her right or treat him right. Maybe under a candlelit plus moonlight tonight. With Trump will stand tall, then reunite. Finally have a president who can do things right. Have that Trump vibe, but gon' do it right. Keep this deep inside no more. The silent majority, we can't stay silent no more. Don't say Merry Christmas again. Go make America great again. Gonna make her great. Hashtag Trump vibe. I'm in Trump line. Donald Trump's gonna make countries bow before our eyes. I'm in Trump line. VIP dips and don't be Trump's surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, listening live in the chat room, and for those of you listening to the podcast later on, reach out to Jack Hat Mountain, the newest co-host for Steel City Resistance. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to getting him on the program starting next Sunday. We'll see how it works. It's probably going to work out quite well. Add him to my absolutely excellent staff of co-hosts, right up there with Norway and Stacy Rush. I only have one day left that I'm by myself on Tuesdays. I think I'm going to probably keep that day, but you never know. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it, and look forward to working with you.
Want something to drink? Charlie, you want a refill?
Yeah,
refill would be great.
No, I don't know. Hey, Mr. Clark, how you doing?
Good.
I've been trying to reach you. You're tougher to get than the president.
Well, I've been busy.
Yeah, at least you could do is return my phone calls, though.
Listen, Nicky, we talked about this. And I explained to you that there was the possibility you might have to take some kind of loss.
Yeah. I think I want my money back.
What are you going to do, strong-arm me?
You know, I think you got the wrong impression about me. I think in all fairness, I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow morning I'll get up nice and early, take a walk down over to the bank and walk in and see you, and if you don't have my money for me, I'll crack your fucking head wide open in front of everybody in the bank. And just about the time that I'm coming out of jail, hopefully, you'll be coming out of your coma. And guess what? I'll split your fucking head open again. Because I'm fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck about jail. That's my business. That's what I do. And we know what you do, don't we, Charlie? You fuck people out of money and get away with it.
You can't talk to me like
Hey, you fat Irish prick. You put my fucking money to sleep. You go get my money or I'll put your fucking brain to sleep.
Sam.
Never mind, fucking Sam, this is personal. I'll be there in the morning. You can fucking try me, fatso. You fucking try me. You think you got the point? What are you doing?
I'm broke when you go.
I've been a first on for a long, long time. Took me 25 years to make up this rhyme. I don't understand why them soldiers don't care. I gotta constantly tell Tom Bear about his hair. Tell them soldiers stay physically fit, and they tell me first on, I don't care about shit. Tell me they don't care cause the shit ain't fun, but I'm gonna tell them soldiers just to get the shit done. So I'm the first son. And that's right. Y'all best be listening to my ass. I'm the first son. No one outrang my ass. What's up, son major? Commander come to see me about 3:15 to tell me what's fucked up in Bravo Company. I tell him, hey sir, I got my hand on my hip. You gonna talk to them pilots about that shit. I tell them soldiers to shine them boots. I don't know how many times I done told I'd move. You better be doing what the hell I say, or by the end of the day, I'm gonna take your rank away. I'm the first son. And that's right, I can do that shit. 4187, I'm the first son. Take that shit away, gonna try it again. I tell some from come and get his mail. If he don't come and get it, I'm going to jail. I guess them souls don't get the hint that I'm gonna retire with some dead presidents. Tell them souls put gas in the Humvee, but I guess they wanna walk cause they don't listen to me. So all my soldiers think my rap is a joke, so I'm gonna step outside and gonna have me a smoke, cause I'm the first son. I don't know if no one wanna listen to my ass. I'm the first son. I guess Baldwin just assed out. I'm the first son. Don't be like Osborne. Osborne gonna fuck that shit all up. I'm the first son. And I just don't understand. I don't understand why y'all can't do what I tell you to do.
If they ever had like an ethnic IQ test, you know the Chinese gonna win. Right? Any motherfucker eat with 2 sticks has got to win. You ever try to be fucking with them sticks? Like, you can starve to death. A lot of this shit. They be starving in India and won't eat them cows. Mother says it's a religion. If I lived in India, Jack, I'd wait till about 3 in the morning. When wasn't nobody around, Jack, and get me a 2x4. I'd be out there in the street, I'm like, So we gonna eat tonight, baby. What about reincarnation? I said, I'll worry about that shit when I get back. I'm hungry tonight. You know what? I wanted to tell you about a Chinese restaurant I went in, and I heard the funniest shit that I'd ever heard in my life was a Chinese person that stuttered. I've never heard a Chinese person stutter in my life, Jack. And this motherfucker was off into it. He done my look. And his friends was trying to help his ass. I'm like, don't you go eat. That motherfucker was still on my. Chinese people be fucking with you. I think it's cause niggas order everything on the menu. I know my friends do when we go to the restaurant. Niggas be talking about, you got any pork fried duck? Some chop suey chitlins? I got one friend, he always orders biscuits and shit. You got any biscuits back in that motherfucker? I'm gonna stop up this chop suey. I ain't leaving shit. The nigga drinks the hot mustard. Name David, he just drink the mustard. Yeah, this shit hot, but ain't like in Louisiana. Chinese people bring a bill to your ass too, right? You say $48 for what? You know, and they always get smooth. You'll have 2 lots of or something. One imperial soup Cantonese also. And if you really don't understand, they send that stuttering motherfucker over there to explain to you. You just throw your money out to here, motherfucker. Take some. Leave me the fuck alone. I always ask for the check before I'm finished and make them mad, right? You got 2 more dishes. I say, man, I can't eat no more of this shit. You order shit, you eat shit. You know people in Mississippi starving? Who you think you are, Buster Brown?
Now, this is a island that at its widest level is, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't.
He was just a rookie trooper, and he surely shook with pride. He checked all his equipment and made sure his pack was tight. He had to sit and listen to those awful engines roar. You ain't gonna jump no more. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. Is everybody happy? Cried the sergeant looking up. Our hero feebly answered yes, and then they stood him up. He jumped into the icy blast, his static line and hook, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Glory, glory.
Going a little bit over tonight. Not much, but a little bit. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. He counted long, he counted loud, he waited for the shock. He felt the wind, he felt the cold, he felt the awful drop. The silk from his reserve spilled out and wrapped around his legs, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. The riser swung around his neck, connectors cracked his dome. Suspension lines were tied in knots around his skinny bones. The canopy became his shroud, he hurtled to the ground, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. For days he lived and loved and laughed, kept running through his mind. He thought about the girl back home, the one he left behind. He thought about the medicos and wondered what they'd find. And he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. The ambulance was on the spot, the jeeps were running wild. The medics jumped and screamed with glee, rolled up their sleeves and smiled. For it had been a week or more since last the chute had failed, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. He hit the ground, the sound was splat, his blood went spurting high. His comrades, they were heard to say, a hell of a way to die. He lay the rolling ground in the welter of his gore, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. There was blood upon the risers, there were brains upon the chute. Intestines were a-dangling from his paratrooper suit. He was a mess, they picked him up and poured him from his boots, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for sticking in here with me tonight. Had a great show. I enjoy doing the little DJ thing. I try to do it as much as possible without any copyrighted music. Sometimes that gets a little bit hard because you don't know what's copyrighted and what's not. Again, I want to welcome Jack Hat Mountain to the family. He'll be with us next Sunday, hopefully for a long time. You'll be the third co-host. We go through them. It's a tough gig, brother. But I'll tell you what, looking forward to that. Check out the YouTube channel, Hutch Bailey Jr. thinking about doing some stuff with that. And pay attention to the Wayne Dupree program. And we are America Radio, your number one streaming source for political and government talk anywhere. We are making a move, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Dupree Show, Monday to Friday, 9 to 10. Cold War Radio, 7:55 to 8:55. 1 hour of Cold War Radio, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Monday with Norway. Tuesday, I fly solo for now. And Thursday with Stacey Rush. I need that 5-minute buffer, ladies and gentlemen, because right now the Wayne Dupree program is on rsbn.tv. It takes me a while to set the cameras up and get the feed going. I apologize for any inconvenience that causes. But it is what it is, and the show will start when it's time to start. Thanks, everybody. Catch you tomorrow. Cold War Radio, Norway. I tried to get in touch with you to do a test because I'm on the road tomorrow. But I switched the mics up, so we should be all right. Might call you a little early tomorrow night to see if we can do the show. If not, if it doesn't work out, we'll figure it out next week. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook and Gab Berg's Eye View on Twitter. Thank you so much for letting me into your life for 1 hour. God bless. Neo, take us out. I'm going to wreck it all and put a copyrighted jam on. Here we go. Nah, no, I'm not. Good night, folks. Love you.